Prince Donnell.
And we want to give a special shout out to the Illest Girls Next Door. Make sure you guys are tuning in and listening to their extraordinary podcast.
Right, because the name is super dope.
What's poppin'? Turn your speakers up.
Turn these speakers up.
You're locked into the Illest Girls Next Door.
You can bump it in your stereo.
On BoominLive.com.
Hey, 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 hey,
Got me turned up already.
hey, oh, I'm glad. Hey. What up, y'all? It's your girl, Rissy Riss, and you are now rocking with Illest Girls Next Door, and we have a very special guest today. We have my guy, King F.L.O in the building.
Yes, indeed.
What's up?
Stonehenge in the building, Federal District. What's going on?
Nothing.
Thank you for having me.
Of
man.
course. Thank you for coming.
The beautiful set y'all got here.
Thank you.
Digging the vibes.
Thank you. You feeling the vibe? You feeling it? You feeling it? All right, so let's get into it. So you are from New York City.
Yes, ma'am. New York all the way, you know. Brought it all the way to Jersey for y'all.
Yes. How was that commute?
It was good. We got, like I said, we got here in an hour. So we ain't not too far out.
So you did the dash, or it just wasn't no traffic?
We luckily missed traffic. I don't know about on the way back we might hit that zone. You know what I'm saying? But we good though.
Right. So now I know you were born in the Bronx, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Around 87, right?
Around 86.
86. Okay.
Yeah, 86.
So what was that like? Because you a couple years older than me.
When I was born, I'm from Soundview Projects.
Okay.
So being from the Bronx, you know, I was from a very poor neighborhood. So we had gates on the windows and, you know, tenement buildings and all that. But I loved it. I loved every minute of it. You know? It's part of what made me who I am today. You know what I'm saying? So I brought that with me. When I moved to Long Island when I was a teenager, everybody, you know, I was out of place because everybody from Long Island moved different from in New York. So I had to accustom myself. But, you know, I grew to love Long Island like it was my own. Yeah. So, you know, that's why I rep Long Island. Got the Long Island tattoo.
Oh, okay.
You know
I see.
But, you know, Long Island is like, you know, my second home.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were born in New York during the 80s. What was it like growing up around hip hop?
I mean, hip hop from very early on has, you know, influenced me. My first experience with hip hop was one of the very first hip hop songs that I ever heard that really got me was a Wyclef song. It was with the Fugees, and my cousin had put me on. She passed away or whatever, but she had put me onto it. And this was when tapes was around, so she had a tape, and she brought it home, and she put the tape on, and she was like, "You gotta hear this. You gotta hear this." I heard it, and it just was
What song was it?
It was actually the whole album, the first album that they put out.
Okay.
So it was all of these songs on the first album. So when I heard it, I was just like, this is
it.
heaven to my ears. Like this is what I love. And then after that, it was like you know, our families had separated, and we went to Long Island, and I always had a love for music, and so I picked up instrument. I taught myself how to play the violin at a young age.
Wow.
So I was playing the violin, and then I moved on to the guitar. And then I was always writing and spitting from an early age because that's what we used to do in the city as kids.
Yeah.
We used to just that used to just be playing around or playing dozens. Like we would spit, but we would be, you know, crashing on each other. So I brought that to the island with me, and people would look at me funny. I remember going into the cafeteria one year before I had ever spit. This was like in like early 2000, and they was beating on the table, and there was some kid named Ancoma Farr. And he was spitting, and he was nice. He called himself the stealth lyricist. And everybody gathered around him, and he was just killing it. And afterwards, I went up to him, and I was like, give me like a week, and I'll be better than you.
You said that to him?
I said that to him. And he was like, yeah, right, little nigga. And I was like, all right, watch. So I came back in a week, and I wasn't better than him, but he was like, yo, you nice. So he was like, so me and him started like a little group back in the day.
Okay.
And so, you know, he don't rap no more, but I actually took it to the next level. You know, he stopped doing it, and then, you know, he reached out to me a couple years ago and was like, "Damn, bro, I see you out here really doing this."
Yeah.
So I told him, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
All it took was that week, and I was about to take over the game.
Right.
So that's kind of like the origin of me starting to do music and being a rapper, because I don't like to box myself in and say I'm a rapper. Yeah, I do rap, but I also produce music and I also play the piano.
Oh yeah, you play instruments, yeah.
So I like to be multifaceted. Not only do I do that, but I also work with a team that is actually one of World Star Hip Hop's premier videography teams.
Oh, wow.
StreetHeatTV.com. So
I did read that, yeah.
Yeah, so we've been shooting videos for artists in the game for probably 15 years or better. So we've been doing, we've been working closely with industry people that are in the industry, and video. Like recently, I just did a cameo in a Designer and Casanova 2X video called Mathis, out right now on World Star. I did a little cameo in there. I got a video out right now that I put out last year with Corey Guns. He's also
I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, Royalty. That's out right now everywhere. It's doing big things. On the 14th, I actually have a video and a record that I'm gonna put out with Fred the Godson. It's about to be off the chain, so that's gonna be crazy. So yeah, we've been doing a lot of work, man. I just signed up with Federal District. That's my team. Okay. I believe you had my brother Topic in here the other day.
Yes, we did. We did.
Yeah, he the man. You know what I'm saying? That's my bro. Yeah, we just been killing it. We got an album out right now called "I'm Not a Faculty." It's everywhere. Go get it if you don't got it already. It's fire.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying, and we just killing it, man. We on the circuit. New York heavily fucks with us. Like I've gotten people in my inbox talking about y'all are G Unit on crack 5,000. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? So it's beautiful to feel like we bringing something back that the game been missing.
Yeah.
Like in my opinion, the game is going in such a direction that it's all mechanical and there's no dynamics to it anymore. It's not you can't really feel what people are talking about anymore because
there's no authenticity.
Right, everything is so cookie cutter.
Yep.
Everything is so like someone was in here saying before. Everybody is mimicking the next person. And if somebody comes out with a hit, everybody want to take that formula and feel like they could run with it, and that's not how the game.
Everything
works.
Ain't for everybody.
Right. So what it does is it takes creativity away from the artist. Whereas you would have artists who would do something outside the box and you would be like, damn, that's really something that touches me, or I love that because it's not the same as everything else. Now it's like everything is turn up, trap, pop pills, whatever. And 9 times out of 10, you got people that really ain't even living that lifestyle. Yeah. So you got people that don't understand what the lifestyle is or the trap lifestyle can be, and you got that glorified to little kids coming up that don't understand what it's about,
and they get themselves caught up in stuff.
And now you got Tekashi 6ix9ine all over the place.
That's exactly what I was about to say.
That was my gripe with that situation, because like y'all one of the biggest gang factions probably in the world, and y'all picked up the grocery bagger at the store and was like, y'all, you a gangster now.
Right.
Where does that
how that work?
Where does that work? Where does that formula work? Because if he gets scared, y'all kidnapping him now, y'all putting a gun in his face now, what you think he gonna do?
Exactly what he did.
Right. So I don't blame him for doing what he did, because really all he was a civilian that got put into a situation that he should have never been in the first place.
So you think he's completely justified?
Oh, I don't think he's justified. Oh. I think that they need to handle him accordingly of how things like that get handled on the street, because you put yourself in them situations. Everybody has decisions that they have to make, and regardless of whether he was a garbage boy, a grocery bagger boy, or whatever, you knew what you was getting into. Yeah. And once you picked up that flag and started screaming Treyway and all that, now you took yourself out that civilian uniform. You was just a civilian. You don't know what it's like to grow up like this. You know what I'm saying? You even got people that are engulfed in the gang culture that still snitch.
That's true.
To expect somebody like that not to snitch is like y'all dumb. Yeah. Y'all are the dumb ones. Not him. He not dumb because he just did what he would do naturally. Y'all just was dumb to think that he wasn't going to do that.
Yeah. He didn't grow up in that, so he did what he felt he needed to do.
Right.
And probably what he was taught to do.
Right.
Really.
Exactly. Yeah. And so that's my only problem with the way the music is now, is that you got people like he was talking about the depression and talking about that, and that is really real. You have artists like what's son named Lil Xan who's really messed up, and who really has a problem, and y'all just looking at that like everybody else is a fad, but this guy really gonna kill himself eventually. You know what I'm saying? It's like, well, we turn a blind eye to that because we all about views.
Yep.
So we want to see how it's going to turn out. Well, he's going to really kill himself, or is he just doing this shit to get attention?
Yeah.
But, you know, the people who do it to get attention, they're not really hurting themselves. Mm-hmm. This young man, he really hurting himself. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? He's really putting himself in positions to really take himself out the game. That's somebody who's calling for help.
Yeah. And
we just seeing it as that's just a fad. That's just a phase. To everybody else, but seriously, he about to hurt himself.
So do you think social media has played a part in the music not being as authentic as it was like back in the days?
Absolutely. I blame social media, and I blame a lot of the old heads that have control of what gets put out. You have people like Funk Flex, who says, oh, everybody can't come up here and spit these bars. And you got some people like, let's say Black Thought was on there one time, and he went off, and like, as he should, because he's Black Thought.
Right.
But then you have somebody like Lil Yachty coming up there and not doing anything, not spitting no bars and having no content, saying, I'm a rapper, but I don't freestyle. Like, what part of hip hop has it become where you not, to me, if you say that you're a hip hop artist or even a rapper, and if I tell you, give me a 16 right now, and you can't do that. You're not an art. You're not a rapper to me.
Yeah.
You're not hip hop. You might be a writer or artist or whatever you consider yourself, but you're not hip hop. It's a different genre. It's a different category. And I blame the older heads on the fact that y'all should be guiding these kids that are, you know, misinterpreting what hip hop really is about, what the culture is about, because that's what it really is. If you pay attention to the progress in hip hop, it went from being information to the streets. You could listen to a hip hop song, and you know, like you know, broken glass everywhere.
Yeah.
You could hear that, and you could see the picture of the hood.
You get it.
You get what I'm saying? And then it went from that to, you know, trapping or hustling to survive. And it went from hustling to survive now to using drugs just to party.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
breaking the 10 crack commandments.
Right. So now everybody went from being a hustler to now being a fiend. And we happy about that, and it's cool. Because everybody's popping perks and popping Zans.
Sipping lean.
And it's like, when did it become cool to be a fiend?
Yeah.
The most thing that I do, or the most thing that me and my people fuck with, we smoke weed. You know, every now and then you get your people that do what they do, and that's fine. Do what you do.
Yeah.
But if you have a platform where you're speaking to millions of children, because that's what really we go, that's our demographic. We want the children to buy our records. You know what I'm saying? We don't want 35-year-olds to buy records. We don't care about that.
Yeah.
We want kids. We directing what we saying to the kids. So if you have a platform that speaks to so many children, and you glorifying popping pills and being a fiend, we gonna have a generation of disrespectful fiends coming up. And that's how I feel about the game.
No, that's exactly what's happening. Because I remember, like, me really, I would say growing up, like, when my era hip hop is completely different from yours.
Yeah.
So, like, I would listen to, like, older school hip hop, and, like, they would talk about lean or, like, sipping scissor or something like that. But then you have Future, who's completely glorifying it, like, popping Percocets and the lean and all that.
And most times you can't even understand what that man is saying.
Because he's so high.
But you had, but you had, like, let's say, for instance, Pimp C.
Right. Yep.
Who passed away from doing lean.
Yep.
After that, you've seen a lot of Houston rappers and a lot of people who was into that lean culture fall back and say, hold on, there's people really dying from that.
And then the same thing happened with A$AP Yams.
Right. And so now, forgetting all of that, now you got people being like, well, I don't care about that shit. Fuck them niggas, they dead already. But that's where we forgot in the hip-hop culture, where we have to remember our past and where we come from in order to build a better future. That just goes for, you know, color culture altogether. We have so many things against us, and we just adding more against us. Like, I like to say, you know, we went from whips and chains to whips and chains. You know what I'm saying? So we still enslaved in one sense or another. It might not be a physical enslavement where you chained up, but we still want to get them chains, and we want to get them whips, because that's a status symbol. When in reality, I could take all of that money that I'm spending on chains and whips, and I could invest, and I could maybe buy a school and build a school and have a school in my community or something. You know what I'm saying? And it's a lot of rappers that got this platform that ain't utilizing it to the best of their ability. You know what I'm saying? That's just my opinion of how it goes now. You know, it's a lot of people that might hear me saying this and be like, "Yo, shut up! We getting money off these kids that's doing this and that and the other thing." But to me, it's not all about money.
It's not.
It's about preserving this culture, because eventually it's going to get so watered down that it's not going to be ours anymore, which is what happens with everything. You know what I'm saying? And we fighting tooth and nail. The people who are really in the trenches who really live hip hop is fighting tooth and nail to keep this culture what it is.
Yeah.
And the people who don't care, it seems like there's just more of them. You know what I'm saying? And and that's the blame on social media. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I seen an interview. I forgot who was on the interview, but he was like, "Y'all, I don't go on social media for my first hour of my day, because if I wake up and go on social media on my first hour of the day, I start seeing all the people, you know, showing out for their lives and getting fucked up and all. Meanwhile, if you pay attention, some of these people ain't really even doing that. They just posting pictures of one time where they had good fun, and you thinking
that's happening right now.
And then automatically you get social media depression, and it's like, damn, why ain't I living like this? Meanwhile, these people are struggling just like you and me.
And that's why Instagram about to take them likes away.
Exactly.
They need
all
to.
them phony likes and all that. That's why I always say, like, I rather prefer, like, I was talking to my because I have a group called the Stoneheads. I was talking to my group member. And we actually have songs that we put out overseas. I don't really personally involve myself in like all of the views and the likes and all that stuff, but we have songs that we just dropped overseas, and them overnight 1 million views.
Oh wow.
100,000 views. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's a bigger market than right here, and all we seeing is right here, and we milking this for everything that it's worth. And we just gonna discard it like everything else. You know what I'm saying? But this is where it started. This is where the hip hop culture started. You know what I'm saying? Here, I'm talking about here in America. We got, if you go to other countries, they, you know, motherfuckers got Yankee hats, and you know what I'm saying? They, I want to know about Rakim, and you know what I'm saying? I went to Jerusalem.
Oh wow.
And it was a wall in Jerusalem, and it was like an old abandoned, I wouldn't say abandoned, but it was like a landmark church. But in the church, Tupac was written on the wall.
Wow.
And I'm like, to me, that was so profound. It
Absolutely.
was like, it's like, damn, all the way over here, they know what type of an impact that Pac had on the world. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's what it's supposed to be, because even though a lot of people hate on Pac for, you know, always contradicting himself, Pac was really just a human being. You know what I'm saying? We all have our moments where we're anxious, or where we feel like we gangsters, or where we feel like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's all he was. He just was on his sleeve about it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Which was why he was so pure, which is why he impacted so many people.
He was ahead of his time.
Absolutely. And from when he passed away, if you look at the way music was when he was around, and when F.L.O was doing with Snoop, or whatever the case may be, if you watch music deteriorate. It becomes less and less about production and like having the best production, and having like somebody like Dr. Dre making an incredible beat, and then you making a hit record, to like, let's see how many of these records we could bang out to try to get as many of these hits while the iron is still hot on this one type of sound, one type of feel. Right. I can't stand that shit.
It's crazy. Like, the industry as a whole is just crazy to me. Like, I don't even know, but I'm reading your shirt, and it says "Fuck Law and Order."
Yeah.
Is that where the name F.L.O
That's
came
what
from?
that's what F.L.O stands for.
Okay.
Fuck Law and Order. Yeah.
So let's talk about
that. When I was younger, I used to be like, I used to be really rebellious. Okay. So, I was at a young age, I was involved in the gang life. So I joined the Latin Kings at the age of 13, I would say. And
you were in Long Island by this time, or you were still in the Bronx?
I was back and forth.
Oh, okay.
And around that time, well, a little bit before that, my cousin, because I was, like I said, I was always writing. My cousin was like, "Yo, you know, we gonna call you F.L.O," but we didn't know what it stood for at the time. But when I joined the gang, they was like, "Yo, you just." You know, you don't care. I was spray painting cop cars in broad daylight. I didn't care. I was doing all type of crazy shit. So they was like, we gonna call you Fuck Law and Order. And that's where the name came. My cousin actually gave me that name. So he was like, we gonna call you King Fuck Law and Order, because you don't give a, you know, you an anarchist. Right. So, you know, that shit stuck with me. Back in the day, I loved that shit. I was like, you know, I was thriving off that shit. But, you know, it stuck with me, and I always kept it. So it was always F.L.O. It was always F.L.O. But I just started, you know, I implemented the king in it, not only because I'm a king, you know, via the gang lifestyle, but I'm a king in my own right. You know, I take care of my own people, and I do things, you know, what a king does. You know, one of my good friends, he's a rapper, he's a well-known rapper, Mr. Cheeks.
Oh yeah.
I said, why? I said, one day we was getting fucked up, and I'm like, yo, why you call yourself Mr. Cheeks? And he said, every time I meet a white man, I want him to call me Mister before he even say my name. And I was like, that's great. I love that answer. So I want everybody I meet to call me King when they meet me.
Yeah.
So now, you know, I made that shit, you know, rather than F.L.O. Everybody knows F.L.O. That's the hood me. That's the, you know, when I get to my bag and I, that's when F.L.O. come out. But generally I'm King. You know, I like to be called King. And it's more of a sign of like, you know, y'all not gonna belittle who I am or what I've built.
Right.
So, you know, calling me F.L.O, that's cool. That just means you want a darker side of me. But if you call me King, you actually respect me with that respect. You know what I'm saying? Which is what I thrive for. Like I said, at a young age, I was involved in the gang life. I seen where that leads. So growing up and learning for myself not to be a follower towards these people, that a lot of them really don't have your best interest in their heart.
Yeah.
That's when I started, you know, looking inward towards myself and saying, you know, I've been such a problem on my community for so long. What can I actually do in order to leave a positive impact, not only for me, but for my children?
I was going to say, do you have children?
Yeah, I do have 3 children. So not only for me, but for them. Because when they grow up, I want them to say, I want them to feel, I want them to feel like, you know, my daddy is more than a rap. Because my sons are old enough where they see me online and they see my videos and they tell their friends, oh, my daddy is a famous rapper, even though I'm not famous yet, famous as I like to be yet. But to them, I'm famous. You know what I'm saying? Because they see me online where they see all these other rappers. And, you know, so I want to be more than that, to where they could grow up and be like, not only was he a famous rapper, but he also did this for the people that he was around. You know what I'm saying? Not, you know, because a lot of the time we get caught up in taking away from our communities, not knowing that they're here for us to build. And if we don't build on them, somebody else is going to come in and build over them.
Yeah, gentrification.
You feel me? And that's what's going on everywhere.
Absolutely.
And so if you, that's what I'm saying about hip hop. If you a hip hop, you realize these things going on around you, and it bothers you. It almost to the point where, like, what am I going to do about this? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? If you're not feeling like what you're going to do about this, or you're not taking a stand and making a change in something, if you've been tearing up the spot for so long and you're not tired of it yet, hang it up, man. Y'all, what y'all doing out here? Yeah. That's how I feel. Like, it's a lot of people that ain't doing nothing with their platform. You know, Cardi B, she's an awesome artist, a megastar. I love her. I met her before. She became who she became when she was working in the clubs. You know, she was close with my brothers and all that. And I feel personally that, you know, you got millions of little girls idolizing. Looking up to you, yeah. You should be doing more than like come on, my nigga.
No, I agree.
To me, like, don't get me wrong. Yeah. She doing what she do, and she's doing, you know, she does it well, and that's her lane. That's cool. But coming up where you came up, and knowing what it's like to have your ribs touching and having to do whatever you have to do to survive, don't you want to pave the way for other people not to have to do that? Yeah. That's what I look at things like. And I just see other people that got it and are able to do that, and they're not doing it. So to me, it's more of a like.
So you respect people like Jay-Z? And
I do. You know, a lot of people talk shit about Jay-Z not being for his people, but anytime somebody in the black community or just even in hip hop community gets into trouble or he's there every time.
He's like the Superman of the industry.
So how could y'all hate on that man?
Right.
When he's giving back.
Right.
It's nothing that you could say about him. You could have all the ill opinions about him that you want, but he's giving back to everybody that he took from, and he knew and he knows. Right. You know what I'm saying? He's aware of it. And not only him, Styles P. Styles P and they on a new wave. Health is wealth. They want you to hit the bar. They want you to go to the juice bar.
They're vegan, right?
Yeah, they're vegans. All of them is vegans. You know what I'm saying? And they change their lifestyle.
Method Man.
And they changing their lifestyle from the people who they interact with first, and then they branching out and using their platforms to say, you know what? Come down to the juice bar. Styles P got 2 juice bars in the city, bringing juice bars to Long Island. He's trying to get people healthy.
Yeah.
That's more impactful than having motherfucking Future have a concert and have people getting fucked up at the concert. You know what I'm saying? It's more longevity in that. Yeah,
people, I feel like the artists should use their platform to bring awareness to the things that were put against us systematically.
My son is a perfect example of that. My son, he every day he had the rally, King Stop Killing Kings.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that. And he don't have to do that. My son was in prison, falsely in prison for 8 years. He could have came home and been like, fuck the system, fuck all y'all. Y'all ain't helped me out when I needed help. He could have did that. Yeah. But rather than do that, he's pulling people out and saying, listen, my brother, look at this. Look at how they got us. Look at how they, they still doing this to us to this day. And I see a lot of people on that man page that be giving, for somebody who supports the black community, you sure going hard against Kanye West is saying this and that. But Kanye West is another person who says shit for shock value.
I'm so glad you said that, because it's like I don't understand. Like I just don't understand like what he be going for sometimes. Like what are you doing?
The thing is, I think that he found out very early that if he said outlandish stuff, that people would pay attention to him. So if you don't notice, it's a cycle. Every quarter that comes around, he start doing crazy shit and saying crazy shit, and it's like, damn, Kanye said this again. Kanye said that again.
Right,
Kanye,
I didn't even think about it.
It's every cycle. So it's not random. He not just losing his mind randomly. He just making y'all think that he losing his mind. And then when he starts saying things that are actually viable, that makes sense to the culture, to how we are still brainwashed, and when he says shit like that, it's hard to take him seriously now because you said some outlandish shit first. So like, you're sprinkling some truth in there for us to listen to, but who's gonna listen to you when you talking about I want to change my name to billionaire Jesus genius Kanye West? Like, bro. How you gonna do that and then expect me to listen to you talk about how brainwashed we are?
Right. No, he did a press conference, I think the other day. He was like, when I run for president in 2024, and the crowd started laughing. He was like, what y'all laughing at? And it was like, it's a joke, but he's dead serious. And it's like, we laughed at Trump and look where we at.
Yeah, but in the same token, like you got, he talk about organized religion, and then now he doing organized religion for his own monetary gain. So he don't charge for his sermons or whatever, but he charging $50 a head for the brunch afterwards.
And they got a pancake, a sausage, and a biscuit.
Yeah, like, bro. So what you doing?
Yeah.
You using us. You using us. So you gonna put out Yeezys, and them shits is the worst pair. Like, listen, those are the worst sneakers. Anybody who I see wear them shits, I'll be like, yo, them shits is so ugly. Why are you wearing, why are you hyping that shit? Them shits is $2,000 for what?
Yeah.
For what? I know a nigga that told me, yo, I just bought them just to have the pair. And I said, bruh.
That's that brainwashing stuff he be talking about, but then he uses it against us.
He uses it against us because you know what? Maybe he is a genius because he knows that we fucked up in that same rut. And although he's trying to tell us that we are, he still uses it against us. So, to me, that's Uncle Tommen. Like, you know what I'm saying? You really just lining us up for the master.
Yep.
And who's your master? Trump, obviously. You feel me? Like, it's a lot of things that go into this as far as artists not using their platform appropriately.
Yeah, it gets deep. It gets real deep. But on a lighter note.
Let's go.
It's time for that dirty laundry. I told you about it at the beginning. It's time.
She can't wait.
So, nah, trust me, I was in tune. I like conversations like that, but we got to get into it.
All right.
So let's do a little drum roll.
I got some dirty laundry.
I'm pretty sure you do.
I got some. All right. It was one of New York's highly loved favorite rappers from New York. I'm gonna say where he's from.
Okay.
Brooklyn. I'm not going.
Oh my God, that's so many people.
I'm not gonna say his name. I was in the club with him on his birthday, and there was another Brooklyn rapper in there too.
This was recently?
Recently. And
what month?
we get too close, but listen, it's one in New York. It's a loved rapper from New York.
Okay.
And he was in the club, and they was in the same VIP, and I was there with the cameras. Mm-hmm. And this rapper got punched dead in his shit, split open, and I got it all on camera. And I'm friends with you, so I'm not gonna put it out.
So you just got the footage just sitting there.
I got the footage just sitting there, baby. That's my dirty laundry, because when I come out, because you be talking shit about all these rappers, you talk shit about me, and I'm selling that shit to TMZ, bruh. That's my dirty laundry. Selling that shit. I want to know who you said. Brooklyn. That's so many people. That is so many people. Listen, he one of the favorite Brooklyn rappers out there. It was two favorite Brooklyn rappers in the same place, and we was at Lust. So it was a big thing. One of them got kicked out, dragged out by security. I got it all on. I was in the VIP with them. It was like his man's hit him, dead in his shit, split him all open. And the nigga was like, "Flo, help me." And I was like,
he was asking you to help him.
I was like, I don't know none of you. I was like, I don't know none of these niggas. Yeah, I got this one. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Yeah,
well, there you have it.
Dirty laundry, man.
Now we got to figure out who it was. I'm gonna figure it out.
I'm gonna let y'all figure it out, because it was some videos out there, but none of them are as good as the one.
If you could give me a month, then I promise you I can figure it out.
No, I can't. I can tell you off air though. I can tell you off
air. All right, bet. All right, yo, this is Illest Girls Next Door. Thank you. Oh, shout out your Instagram handle, SoundCloud, all that.
Y'all can find me on Instagram at TheRealKingFlo 360_Federal. And then SoundCloud, everything is Stoneheads. And just Google me, man. I'm Googleable. King F.L.O, King F.L.O. And you'll find everything. All my videos, all my music will come right up. Promise you.
All right, and we are out of here. It's your girl, Receivers. Bye.